hear a lady say same OG,
Right.
like, okay, let's see.
get to know.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm same OG, and OG is from my name Ogosa. So generally you hear AY Ayodele, NK Nkechi, IJ Ijoma.
Okay.
So OG is Ogosa, and yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and so my full name is John Ogosa Idiaboya. Quite lengthy, so yeah. So the same is as a result of the diverse space which I play. So you can see me doing music, songwriting, presenting brand strategy, corporate communication, and all aspects of creativity. So sometimes like, is that the same OG? The same OG.
Oh, I think that's apt. For someone that does brand communication, I think you must have taken care of that in your documentation and your business plan and your business structure. Fantastic. Okay, so let's dive into the subject matter now, which is the creative industry challenges and opportunities. I don't want to ask how long you've been playing, but let's have your evaluation of 5 years down the line. What has been your perception about the creative industry? Good, bad, and ugly sides.
Good, bad, and ugly sides. I will just talk about, for me, creativity in this part of the world. I know we are talking about Nigeria at 61, and most of the time, I personally don't want to flog on the reality of the economy and how people are crying that, you know, everything is hard and all. But if we look at it statistically, the creative industry is the second largest growing and the second biggest employer of labor in this part of the world.
Fantastic.
So the creative industry is one that has seen a lot of increase, even in a time where people are wailing as a country. So, and this happened strategically within the last 5-10 years. So there's something right going on in the creative industry, and part of it, which I believe, is that's been driven by young, educated, and energetic people. And we can see the results are not denying themselves anymore.
Are you facing challenges as a woman in the industry? We've heard how people say the women movement in this, women movement in that. Do you have such? Do you face such challenges, and do you have anything like such in the creative industry?
Personally, no. And it's not to demystify what any other person may have gone through, but if I am to be very sincere, I will say that somehow the support I've gotten because I am a woman has been a plus. Funny enough,
so it works for you?
So, yes, funny enough, both from the guys, the men, and females alike. Right? I was able to do a show in 2018, an unconventional, impact-driven show, but in a club. Very unconventional because of the target audience. We didn't want to target the elites, the educated. We wanted it to be like strict. So let's go in there, impact and everything. And in putting that together, we had to go within ourselves. Like, how can you assist? How can you help? And the guys, they shut the door because it was a lady coming to knock. Neither did the lady say, it's a fellow lady, and you're going to be competition with me. So I have been privileged personally to be supported, and I think that's part of what we are enjoying in the creative industry at the moment, and especially from the angle of impact.
Okay.
And you can see people, you have an initiative, everyone is coming together, let's make it happen. And right now you can see the boom. We are employers of labor, it's growing, we are exporting creativity.
Interesting.
And it's going out there, it's becoming big and coming back to us.
As revenue.
As revenue.
Which brings the question.
Yes, please.
What makes a creative an export? What is that thing? We see commodities, material commodities, and say, okay, this is cassava. This is what cassava can do, this, that. Now, when it comes to a human being, I don't want to assume that people understand what it is for a human being to become an expert, because in using that word, most people tend to see it as a slavery, in quotes. So I don't want to use that because I believe it means something positive. So when you see a creative, we say a creative is an expert. What does that imply?
That's a very lovely question, I will say. Thank you for that. And I'm tempted to say welcome to 2021. Where cassava is not the only thing we're exporting. Where cocoa is not where oil is not even, they say data is even the new oil. So if we want to talk about the creative industry, we are going from media to art to tech. right? To everything, and it is disruptive right now. Technology is big, right? Art is big, and you can export these things by your talent. We saw some people on Twitter where they make drawings of, you know, Kevin Hart, and they buy some of those things.
Yes.
You saw what Ikorodu boys did,
Yes,
right? And being invited. You are seeing what has gone on in the tech industry, where they are coming in and buying PayPal.
Absolutely.
Right? You are seeing what's going on in the media industry, where we are winning Grammys. The Afrobeat music is now a rave. People are looking for producers who are skilled in producing that Afro sound. People are looking for songwriters who can write Afro music. People are looking for people who can code and build tech. People are looking at people who can make tires, and they are making furniture out of tires. They are making canoe out of empty bottles. Creative is gone at the days, and I think at this point I want to implore the youths. It's not all about all of that.
So why do we pour our weight on the challenges, and the expectation from the government and the leaders of the nation tend to be more? Someone like you, you've mentioned two key words I want to take. The first is in the part of your impact-driven initiatives. The second is the fact that, yes, Nigeria can even export more of our talents.
Yes.
What is the driving force for Semoji?
Okay, I almost wanted to say my driving force is, I won't say hopelessness in the situation of things. The truth is, I mean, Africa has always been seen over time to carry the begging bowl. Begging bowl says that, you know, what you can do for us. What can you do for us? We are Africa.
Like Mr. President was begging Switzerland just a couple of days back.
Yes.
You know, whereas you are seeing tech coming into Nigeria to come and explore talents, because here is the base of people doing raising initiatives that are competitive on a global level. I understand that PayPal had to buy into Paystack because Paystack was already becoming a global competition.
Yeah.
Right? You see collaborations in some creative industry because we are already taking over. Right? You see people building some apps out of this part of the world, and you're wondering how in God's name did this happen. You are seeing Nigerians building solutions, you know, that you are wondering what is going on. So in my mind, during the day when I have to sit
And lament about
the situation.
Okay.
People are making it. The creative industry is improving. Young people are driving it.
Okay.
So off they go.
That's fine. Now let's talk about pre-COVID,
Yes.
post-COVID, the creative industry. How far?
Okay.
All right. So pre-COVID, post-COVID, COVID pushed us and even fostered global collaboration more than ever before. Now, pre-COVID, all we could do was, maybe you are here, you have to now wait for something to happen before. So I'll give a typical example in the process of music making. Then you could see that you could do concerts. You can do a co-concert with someone who's not in the country. So you are here, I'm here. Their technology means to now do live performances. So I can be sitting somewhere in Lagos and doing a show live with an artist in New York.
In Houston, fantastic.
Right? So the global collaboration even became bigger. Tools were forced to come into place, Zoom and the likes. Even organizations in Nigeria that didn't know that they could work remotely fully,
they played the catch up and they started catching up.
And funny enough, even jobs outside this country started hiring talents from this part of the world remotely. So it's even improved us.
Yes, virtual assistants.
Exactly. So it's even improved us more better. So you can easily sell your skill to someone that's not in the country, and you can be employed.
All right, Semoji, let me come down to the part of the lamenting issue.
Yes.
Where young people, they own maybe a better device than you do, even while you're speaking like this, but yet they are crying they don't have a job. Let's now do the positioning for the opportunities that are available. Why do we look at the challenges most of the time? Please share with us some of the tools that young people can pick up and go get it done.
All right, thank you. That's a very interesting one, and I think it's high time we understand things are going on. But I want to encourage the young people not to cry pity party anymore. Like you rightly said, we have some of these devices already, right? I know of people who started learning stuff. YouTube it's a knowledge web on its own.
There's a better
right?
word for university. You use that.
Thank you very much. There are virtual trainings. I understand the likes of LinkedIn, let me not call some organizations who have released free trainings. And you can take this training on your mobile phone.
You don't have to pay for it.
And you don't have to pay for them. So, and there are competitive tech skills that can be picked from there. And I know someone who started a web design skill strictly on YouTube. And he had free access to free devices like WordPress. You can access WordPress for free.
To get started.
There are free things in there. Start it. The truth is that if you are not hungry enough as a creative, you will always have an excuse.
So how do we treat the issue of
Rom, she's not done yet. I disagree with you. This is a very pertinent one.
Thank you. All right.
Okay.
So I think should I continue?
No, just write
Rom,
that
go
out.
ahead. You want this particular.
Okay.
You understand what is happening? Our viewers are
We'll get back to that. We'll get back to that.
Rom, go ahead. No problem.
Thank you.
First, we'll do the
We're very concerned about the issue of still on the same issue of having a device,
Yes.
be it a phone or a laptop, but all you can think of is how you can make money in 30 seconds, how you can make money in 40 seconds. Okay, we will talk of 40 seconds. I don't want to, but how we can actually make the youths, especially the Nigerian youths, have that thing of the negative. It's now a crowd mentality. How or what is your contribution? What is your take on tackling that mentality? How can we give them the reorientation that it's not about the negative? It's not about going on the Yahoo, the 419. How can
the cybercrime, the cyber theft,
take off that distraction and give them something to focus on?
It's not about following the puppy that will show plenty car but being arrested by American.
Because they tend to be.
Yes, so that's what we're looking at.
So how do we shift their attention from
mind
such?
shift? Fantastic. Okay.
Thank you very much. While I will also, this is your stated fact. I also want to say that a lot of youth are playing positively. It's not all about the negative. Remember I said something, the creative industry right now is even being driven by the young people. Paystack itself, you're too under 30 or thereabouts, right? A lot of this tech innovation going on in the country are being driven by
Great.
it. Yes, there are a lot of them that needs that reorientation. And all you just have to say to those people is, hey, take your eyes off this part. And look at these same people within your client
Using
who
the
are
same-
doing it positively.
With the same tool.
With the same tool. So at the end of the day, it's now an issue of because I don't like a situation where Nigerian youths are so painted as being negative. All we are doing is cybercrime. There are people who are making genuine means of income using the same technology. And I think this is part of the orientation that sometimes now makes some law enforcement think that because you are driving a car, you must be doing Yahoo. Or because you're a young person living fine, then there's something wrong you are doing. No. It's not all about that. A lot of people are doing genuine job. And what I will have to say about the opportunities to tell people that, see, nothing good comes easy. You have to sit down and do the work. And this work we're talking about is using that tool in your hand to learn. Learn how to build apps. There's something called product design, UI UX. There's something called digital marketing. There's social media marketing. There is production. There's even digital arts. So yes, you may not have the money, but download an app that you can draw in. There are a lot of things. There's graphics design. There's animation.
There's social media management.
There's social media
There are
management.
brands that if you see their followers, you'll be like, what's going
Do
on?
you understand?
You remember I told you last time, not too long ago, that I met a 15-year-old girl who just registered her company with CAC, and she said she's looking at being, in 10 years time, a top videographer and photographer. She's 15 and she's just registered her company
Exactly. So
with
there are a lot
CAC.
of people. So I don't want to call some names because I'm in the industry. There are some people under 20. There's a 23-year-old that is cursing, product design and everything, working with international companies, any foreign currency, living in Nigeria, talking about exporting skill and talent. So at the end of the day, all I would just say is Nigerian youths, we are doing a good job so far. The creative industry is employing labor, but we must do, in short, the negativity part of it, we can minimize it to nil. Take your eyes away from greed. Don't eat where you did not sow. And let us put our talents in. We are talented, we are driven. The Nigerian spirit is one that cannot be killed. Let us use this to evoke change.
Okay, so we're about to draw the curtain with this noble Nigerian here with us, but we can see how fired up she is. So it would be nice for us to give her something I call the elevator pitch. She does a lot of pitch because she's a spokesman for the spokeswoman for the oracle, the positive for the creative industry. But I think it's very, very important. Having highlighted a couple of salient points here, let's just get to know intricately from our background. This is a wrap-up, but taking the first for the last. Where does parental touch comes in this? How did your own parents support this cause? The things you're doing now, are those things the ones they approved while you were growing up? Please quickly.
Thank you very much. So let me start with how does parental, then I'll go back to my own story. Parental influence in this time is non-negotiable. And because I believe that you are responsible for building up a child. And if a parent at this time is seeing how important technology, innovative solutions are in the future, it's high time to start building your children and giving them things that an impact that should drive their tomorrow. Gone are the days where you can just leave a child to fate. Now, my own case was a bit unique. My background is in medlab, actually.
Oh,
so I think I grew up in the times where, I don't know, for some reasons, our parents would also come and say, okay, you engineer, you doctor, you accountant. So the spell of medical fell on me. But over time, you're able to see that I've been a people's person. I've been someone who loves to engage. I'm very creative. And at some time, though my dad did not really, but my mom picked it up early and somehow started supporting me. So even when I was still doing the med lab, and I'll be like, oh, I have to go to, there's something going on, there's something in theater arts I have to do. And she'll be like, oh, let's go. And I said, okay, I need to produce songs. And she said, oh, really? I may not have a lot, but okay, take this, do this. And I could see the love and the support, and that has helped me. And over time, I was also hungry for change, so I went ahead to learn some of these things, So parents, I encourage you. So it's not just enough to give your children tab. They should just be playing with. Even at a young age, there are apps you can even give to the children. There are scribble apps. There are arts. There are coding session for kids, right? Children now can start learning music instruments, start playing with camera and whatnot. So we have the time to shaping children who will be competitive for the future. There have been works we've been doing, especially music-wise. So after as an aftermath to the initial show, which I did, it's more of a reorientation setting. So we can go into, so we are planning to do a street show. So instead of going from club or from this time around, we're taking it to the streets where we use media, music, and while we are singing and dancing, there can be real arts going on in the background, attract these people. And in the midst of that, sharing our own story. We didn't come from grace. We also started from somewhere. And we're going to tell the average person out there that, hey, you see this is impact. You can do this, you can do that. Collect names, and I'm looking forward to working with some NGOs who are particular about training these people, and working with the likes of Super Screen and some organizations, and even some youths who are passionate about putting their own money at stake. So that, all right, so based off of that, we can see those who have something to showcase. So if we go into the street and we see someone who can show, okay, this is my drawing book, I'm already drawing, that's already potential. Let's go there, right? You see someone who is saying that I'm passionate about photography, this is my phone, and downloaded an app, I'm able to edit, and I've seen what you are doing with what you have. We can take it up from there. So this is from my own 40, and I know a lot of other young people who are erupting changes in their own little way around. So at the end of the day, it's going to be a collaborative effort, and we'll keep driving this change. Yeah.
Okay, what a way to wrap up a conversation with a multiple talented Nigerian. I'm about to drive into something else, but I'm still in awe with the fire that is coming out of this young Nigerian. So position yourself. As we brace up for electioneering, you might be looking out for how to push people into position. These are the people that should run our activities.